Alright, hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be reviewing the 2020 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. This is a sporty take on the already existing Volkswagen Atlas. Of course, you know, right away you can definitely tell there's a difference in the front. We have these new design front headlights as well as a new badge and kind of just a general different bumper with these really sporty inlets which kind of look like, you know, reminiscent of the GTI, obviously in a smaller scale, but they are functional and they do route right to the wheels, which is really cool. So it definitely will cool off your brakes. Right here we have the new design Volkswagen badge, which, you know, I honestly do like it. I know some people are iffy about it, but I'm a huge fan of this. I think it looks really nice, and, you know, I think over time a lot of people will start to get used to it. Of course, along the hood we have these really nice sporty lines, and they go all the way to the end. Again, Volkswagen's kind of killing the game when it comes to lines. They don't overdo it, but they really, you know, they make it look really nice. Of course, these headlights are engineered with the new IQ light system, and it's a very nice system to have. Of course, when you turn, the beams will turn with you, and of course the beams themselves are very well lit, especially at night. So there's nothing but good things to say about these new lights. Alongside the vehicle, we have these really cool 5-spoke alloys, kind of in this machine silver. And we have Cross Sport badge right here that follows onto the fender to the door. Really nice to see that as well. And we have this really cool line that follows all the way through to the fender, and that's one thing, you know, after you look at the car, you kind of find all these new lines because this car is full of really nice lines that flow really nicely, and they're not overkill. I mean, they really do flow nicely, and yeah, I'm a big fan of it. So this fender line goes all the way even to the head or to the taillight, right to the back of the vehicle. And one thing just before I start talking about the whole rear of the car, as you guys can see from a side profile, the slope, that kind of that coupe look, it looks honestly really nice. And I'm kind of glad Volkswagen made a car like this because this is kind of a first for them. And it's, you know, a lot of car companies are starting to come out with these coupe-like SUVs, and, you know, in my opinion, I think it looks really nice. All right, along to the back of the car, we have 4Motion SEL. This car is, of course, an SEL trim, and Atlas, just as before, right in the center. Of course, with the new logo. To open the trunk, you can just press this button. It'll open like so, or of course you can reach under and it'll pop open just like that. At the back of the car, we have 40 cubic feet of space. That is, of course, with the seats up. And of course, when you fold the seats down, you get 78 cubic feet of space, which is plenty of space for this type of vehicle. Of course, being sloped, you know, we are restricted when it comes to space, but it's not terrible. It still holds that SUV size, so generally you can probably fit plenty of things in here, you know, even your dog. So of course we have our mats, everything to come with the vehicle. Right back here, of course, our cargo safety protection. Gotta love to see that. To close the lift gate, we just press this button like so. It's automatic, and there it will close. This car is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder. It cranks out 235 horsepower, and it's plenty for this type of vehicle. Even for the size, 235 on the 2-liter is, you know, that's a really good power plant. So before we hop into the driver's seat, we'll jump into the back. I'll give you guys my take on leg space and overall comfort. Overall, as you guys can see, we have plenty of leg space. This, of course, is in my 6-foot position. I'm a 6-foot person, so we have plenty of leg space. We have a nice pocket. And as far as head space goes, I would say about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, which, you know, that's to be expected with that sloping roofline. It, of course, has that sporty take. We have a little storage pocket here, 2 USBs, as well as a standard 115-volt plug-in. We have cup holders right here as well. This, of course, is a 3-row, so you can definitely fit 3 people, and 3 people comfortably. It's not that bad. This tunnel is actually really even not that you know, lifted up, so you could easily fit 3 people, and, you know, you probably wouldn't have many complaints about that. So, you know, it's generally a really nice place to be. The seats are very comfortable. The bolsters are pretty okay. It's sort of like a bench seat, but it's still, you know, you still sit in the seat as opposed to on it, so really nothing to complain about there. All right, we'll jump right into the driver's. There's also one thing I want to point out. We have a cup holder as well as a storage pocket and another one. These are not lined in carpet, so they may rattle, but, you know, I don't think it's going to be too bad. All right, into the driver's seat. All right, so before I talk about everything here, we'll talk about everything on the door. So we have kind of right away, you guys can see we have these really nice white stitching, kind of these really nice lines that flow, I would say, pretty nicely. They don't look too random, but I don't know. I think maybe if they did something here, something a little special here, they could, you know, make it all flow in together. But I think overall it's a really nice look. Our trunk pop, we can pop the lift gate on the back this way, and also we have some storage. So we have a cup holder, and this is not lined in carpet, so again, things may rattle, but you know, it's probably not a big deal. Not many people use these, and if you do, you probably wouldn't put anything that would rattle anyway. Of course, for standard cup holders, we have two cup holders right here, and with these little bad Larrys, everything holds into place really nicely. So without further ado, we'll start up the car. It's very hot out, so gotta get some air going. This, of course, is dual zone climate, and it's a fantastic system. I have it in my vehicle, and I love it to bits. It's very responsive, and it, you know, it cools and heats up as quick as you want it, pretty much on demand. So you cannot beat that. Of course, this car is a DSG transmission, so you really can't beat that. Here's our 8-inch touch screen display. Again, a really super and a really easy system to learn. Of course, these are all our clocks, but of course we have radio, media, phone, navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all of our car settings where, you know, we can scroll through driving data, and you know, it'll pretty much tell you ways you can save on gas, and just our general menu. So that's pretty much that system. I left it on the clock just for the radio, but anyway, very easy system to learn. If you guys want to check that out, I have probably videos. I have videos out on my current vehicle, which is my Golf R right there. Same system. They use it on all their vehicles, and it's a fantastic system. I really, this system will definitely keep its age, and you know, it's one of the most responsive systems I've ever used. Of course, we have our digital cockpit. Which is really cool to see. Our water temperature is on the left, and our fuel gauge is on the right. Very, very easy to figure out everything. You can scroll through all your settings: audio, telephone, vehicle status, driving data, and we can even change everything around it. So we can hit view, and that'll show our gauges. We hit view again. So really cool stuff. You can just keep hitting view, and it'll just scroll through a handful of things. But as far as driving systems, so all of our safety features, we have our lane assist, blind spot monitoring, rear traffic alert, and front assist. And these are really great systems. This Volkswagen, you know, they really they calibrate these really well. So, and adaptive cruise control is really nice. This car does have it. So on top of other features, this has a heated steering wheel. The steering wheel is really nice. For a crossboard, it's nice to see that it is I would say it's a pretty flat bottom steering wheel. You know, it definitely flattens out on the bottom, but you know, I wouldn't say it's as aggressive as the GTI or R steering wheel, which both use the same steering wheel, but it's still a really nice steering wheel. And the bolstering feels pretty okay. It's not bad, and it's you know, again, it's still an SUV, and it's not, you know, an R by any means. It's still a it's a sporty car, and I gotta say that the shape is really nice, so I have really nothing to complain about there. This car is obviously the DSG transmission, super responsive transmission. They've been using it in all their cars for years. Our drive selection is right here, so we can scroll through snow, our normal setting, or our eco setting, then off-roading, and then off-road custom. So in our normal setting, we can scroll through normal, sport, and custom, and in custom we can fine-tune all of these systems, so steering, drive system, and honestly, that's really cool to see. I pretty much almost all the systems that the Golf R has, which, you know, is the top of the cream of the crop right there. So really cool to see that in this type of vehicle. And yeah, so I bet you this is definitely one fun ride, and we'll definitely be driving this car in sport mode to see what it's like. We don't have paddle shifters, but we do have kind of, a lot of people like to say the wrong way, which I agree. Up is up and down is down. It should be down is up, and that's simply because of rally. So overall, really comfortable place. This is really nice. It's padded quite nicely. Of course, we have a lot of space too. We have a USB port, and yeah, I could definitely imagine a long journey in this vehicle. It's the visibility is really nice as well. Even with that pillar being kind of, you know, a little bit in the way, you do have your blind spot monitoring on your mirrors, so you can see everything. And generally, you know, that little window right there will help. So overall, visibility is pretty good in this car. I'd say it's, you know, for an SUV, it's actually really good. So Nothing to knock there. So everything as far as just general look and feel. So I would say we have a lot of soft touch, which Volkswagen does quite well on the dash. A little storage spot right here. This is not, actually this is also soft touch as well. And we have a kind of a carbon fiber look that sweeps right across the dash, which is really nice. And I like how the vents are integrated. It honestly looks really uniform, and yeah, no, I like it. So with that said, we're going to take this car on a quick spin, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. So stay tuned for that video. That video will be uploaded shortly after this one. And yeah, so thank you guys.